Hey guys, hello everyone. I hope you all are doing great. So, a very warm welcome back to my channel Awan Onjo, and in this video we'll be starting up with a very important topic, that is local governmental bodies. I've seen that many of us struggle with these topics because there is a lack of clarity regarding to what kind of bodies are there. So let me tell you that local governmental bodies, basically here we are going to cover the tier 3 of the governmental setup. Like we have discussed that there are three tiers of democratic bodies, and this is the tier 3 of that. So you can say that this is the most grassroots level of democratic institutions that we can find in India. So here I have taken this as a very broad topic, and I'm going to cover every of the details regarding the local governmental bodies, and I have created a separate video for this because I think that this needs one, and you need to be very clear with the concepts, and this would be very helpful for you in framing your answers and doing other things in learning the concepts. So before starting, all the people who are new here, hello everyone, my name is Awan, and this channel you are here currently on is Awan Onjo. I welcome you all. So this is the only channel where you can see proper UPSC free lectures, and I have discussed everything in very much detail. I have also had analytical details of the various topics. You can check the videos out. I have already been doing constitution in India, and I've already covered lots and lots of videos, and this is yet another important video that we are going to cover today. So all the lectures are completely free. You can anytime go and you can anytime watch them. So only thing I want from you guys is to just subscribe to this channel. If you haven't, just go right now, just smash that subscribe button, because this gives us motivation, this gives us a more it makes us actually know that yes, people are liking the videos, people are enjoying the videos, and you are getting benefited from it. Also, if you like the video, don't forget to like and share with your friends who need it. So without any further ado, let's begin. So the local governmental bodies, when I'm talking about it, so I would like to give you a brief kind of setup of this body. So how does this body look like actually? So I will create a diagram for this. I think that's the best thing that you can understand. Okay, so when I talk about the local governmental bodies, so the structure of it looks something like this. At the top you can say there is Zilla Parishad. Okay, so you can just draw proper diagrams, and I'm just writing with a mouse, so the figures may not be that neat, but you can draw a better one, of course. Okay, so this is the topmost level. Okay, now this gets connected to the next level, that is going to be, this one is going to be Panchayat Samiti. Okay, Panchayat Samiti. Okay, now what's the relation between them? I'll tell you this in a short while. So now this gets connected to another body, that is going to be, this body is going to be called as Gram Panchayat. Gram Panchayat. You'll understand this very soon. I just request you all to create this diagram. This is going to be very helpful. So here I have taken, you can say, the whole of the tier 3, okay, including the urban bodies. So I'm not going to be focusing upon that much, but just to give you a brief overview, I have made this diagram, and this Gram Panchayat comes under the bigger role of, just give me a sec guys, yeah, it comes under the bigger role of, a bigger role, this one is called as a bigger body, not a bigger role. Like role are very important for both of them, but this is a bigger body comparatively, that is called as Gram Sabha. Okay, now this is how it looks like. Now let me just tell you that at which level, what kind of thing it is. So Zilla Parishad is found at the district level. Okay, so you can just write down here, at the district level. Okay, now Panchayat Samiti is at the block level. at the block level. And it also goes down like this. Okay, a state would consist of various districts. The districts would then be consisting of various blocks, so it just goes down like this in the descending order. Okay, so the panchayat samiti is for the block. Okay, then gram sabha, before that gram panchayat is actually the village level. Okay, it is the village level. And what is happening is that this gram sabha, okay, this gram sabha, it is a kind of a direct participatory body. So you can write a direct. I'm just not going to write everything in detail because I have a limited option. You can just, I might use short forms for things. Okay, so you just write it in the full, it would be helpful. So direct participatory body, this is what gram sabha. Here the people, all the people of the village are included. Okay, and from this gram sabha, the members of gram panchayat are selected. Okay, so you can say it is upper body as compared to Gram Sabha, but this has a very large representation, and it is a direct body where the people are, all the people of the village are directly participating in the decision making process. So you can say that this body is highly democratic. Okay, now this block is the intermediary level for sure. So we have here the Zilla Panchayat at the district level, the Panchayat Samiti at the block level, and the Gram Panchayat at the village level. I hope this much is clear. Now I'll first of all start up with Gram Sabha, because this is the grassroots and the most important body, as it is having a direct participation of people directly in the decision making process of the government. Okay, so let me just start up with this topic in detail. And one more thing that you're going to realize in the case of Gram Sabha is that this body, as I told you, is I just recently told you that it is a upper body, but you can see that since it is having a direct control, so it is actually going to control the decisions of the Gram Panchayat. So in a way you can say that this is more decisive. Okay, so you'll understand it once I start up with the Gram Sabha. Okay, sorry. Okay, so let me start up with Gram Sabha. So where is the pen? Yeah, Gram Sabha. So when I talk about Gram Sabha, okay, so the Gram Sabha, as I told you, is the most grassroots level. So all the members of the village are consistent, are comprising the Gram Sabha together. Okay, and they all are registered as voters. Okay, so it is a direct participative body, and I already told you that the Gram Sabha is going to, this is the Gram Sabha. Okay, so the Gram Sabha is going to form Gram Panchayat, which is in turn going to form the Gram Panchayat is going to be formed from the Gram Sabha, and finally the head or the chairman of the Gram Sabha and Gram Panchayat would be the same, and it would be selected from the Gram Panchayat. Okay, so the Gram Sabha is going to select the Gram Panchayat, and the Gram Panchayat is going to select the chairman or the head of Gram Panchayat, who is also going to be the chairman of the Gram Sabha. Okay, so I hope that this point is very clear to you all. Okay, so this is how it works. Now it basically is also very much helpful in the, if you look at the aspect of good governance, that is accountability of the government. So this body, this Gram Sabha, is going to be helping in ensuring the accountability of the government. Okay, now as I told you, the structure consists of all the voters of the village, and the chairman is going to be the chairman of the panchayat as well as sabha. Okay, now let me just talk about the various functions that it could perform. Okay, so what could be the functions of this Gram Sabha? So as I told you that it is a direct participative body, so it is going to basically give its suggestion on and gives its verdict, not suggestion, verdict on various kind of you can say the approval of budget the from the panchayat is going to be done by the Gram Sabha. Okay, so you need approval for budget. Okay, very important. Okay, they're also going to help in the planning process. Planning for what? Planning for how the various resources are going to be distributed. So the resource distribution planning is going to be done by the Gram Sabha. Various projects at the village level are going to be planned up by the Gram Sabha, and various programs and schemes, okay, that is a provision that could happen, not happening as of now, but there is a provision of also discussing the policies and schemes, okay. So that is going to be a very good step for making the process more democratic, okay. So these are certain functions. Also it also the functions include, you can say that what happens is that when villagers are collectively forming a body, so this body is going to be involved in many of things, like voluntary, that is going to be voluntary, their own participation for things like labor and finance, okay. So they can give their own finance, they can put up their own finance, and they could also help in labor for implementing various of the schemes or various of the other plannings that they have done. So that is going to provide financial labor on a voluntary basis also, okay. And the Gram Sabha is also going to be conducting the social audit, which is very important for looking at how much, you can say how much, it's like something that where you can inspect that how much successful the body has been. So social audit is a very important aspect, okay. Also there is another thing, that is the beneficiaries, okay. So the beneficiaries, like the selection of the beneficiaries of various schemes would be done, the selection process would be done by Gram Sabha. So this was a kind of the not overview, but we have discussed everything, the function, the structure of Gram Sabha and how does it work and what is its function. Now I'll move to the next body, that was our yeah. So the next body, that is Gram Panchayat. So let me move at Gram Panchayat. So let's do it with another color so that we could differentiate well. Okay, so now let us study about Gram Panchayat. I hope all the colors are very visible to you. Gram Panchayat. Okay, so when I talk about Gram Panchayat, so it is a executive body first of all, okay, and it is a representative body. The representation is coming from where? It is coming from the people of the Gram Sabha. There are some of the representatives from the Gram Sabha itself who are representing the who are as the representatives representing the Gram Sabha in Gram Panchayat. Okay, just listen to my every word with a kind of focus, because sometimes what happens is that you get confused between Gram Sabha and Gram Panchayat, which happened with me also. So in that case, just try to focus on my words, okay, how I am saying what, okay, when I'm talking about Gram Sabha, when I'm talking about Gram Panchayat, and how both of them are interrelated to each other. So that needs to be taken care of, okay. Now the members from the Gram Sabha, okay, the members of the Gram Sabha are going to elect the members of Gram Panchayat, okay. So I hope that this was clear, and this is an executive and the elective body. Okay, it has been made, there are certain mandates that are made mandatory by the constitution itself. So what are the mandates? So there should be a policy of reservation here in this body, is very important, okay. So reservation is going to be of minimum one third of women representation. Okay, just write this down, I'm just making points, okay. So one third of women representation, I'm just writing it on the minimum basis. This needs to be the minimum, okay. It can be more than this, okay. Minimum this much is required, okay. Then we have the reservation in proportion to the population. So there is the reservation for the SC/ST people, and for SC/ST people there needs to be, the representation is not any particularly mentioned, okay. It is directly proportional to their proportion in the Gram Sabha, okay. So you can say that if in a population, if one third is represented or two third of SC/ST is represented, so accordingly they are going to get the reservation. Okay, it is not a particular, because in some places what happens is that there is more population of SC/ST, so the seat needs to be allocated accordingly. So that's why this provision in the constitution was there. Okay, then we have the reservation for the OBC also. Okay, so where does my pen go? Yeah, so there is OBC reservation also, other backward classes or backward classes. Okay, so for that they may be decided according to the law of state. So that could be decided by the law of state. So this is what has been written down in the constitution, and this much is very much mandatory in when we are talking about the reservation. Okay, so just mark this one, very important. Okay. Also, the election of the chairperson of Gram Panchayat is going to be directly or indirectly, electing or depending upon the state's law, like whatever the procedure is given by state, or there could be elections. Okay, so direct or indirect elections could be there. Let me just be back here only. So this is something that you should know about the Gram Panchayat. So I hope that this much is very clear to you. Now let's move on to the next one, that is going to be our Panchayat Samiti. Okay, so now let us move on to Panchayat Samiti. Now let's okay, so now guys, let's discuss the next topic, that is Panchayat Samiti. I hope it is understandable. Yeah, so Panchayat Samiti. So when I'm talking about the Panchayat Samiti, so you can say that it is somewhat a mix of deliberative as well as executive body. Deliberative as well as somewhat executive body. Okay, so you can just write this down. Now it also has a kind of an expert component attached to it. Okay, so it is like an expert body. Now this has two functions, including administrative functions, as well as um, it also acts as a functional elaborative body. Okay, so it is also functional body. Fine. So like functional related to subject matters. Okay, and they help in organizing basically the interrelationship between various bodies. Okay, so it acts as a link between various bodies. Okay, between the different tiers also, you can say. Okay, so Gram Panchayat is going to report to Gram Samiti. So I have already told you that it works on the block level. Okay, and it follows the same patterns of reservation policy as in Gram Panchayat. Same patterns of reservation is followed. Okay, so this is on and on about Panchayat Samiti. Um, okay, so let me just one more thing you need to know here. There are certain associate members. Okay, associate members. So when we talk about the associate members, so these associate members are going to be the ones who are nominated members, and they are experts. So you can say it is kind of an expert panel, okay, who's acting like a judge of a show. Okay, so you can just remember it like that. Panchayat Samiti is going to be that panel of judges. So they are expert and they are nominated. Okay, and there are certain ex officio members who are the chairpersons of all Gram Panchayat falling in the Panchayat Samiti area. So what is they are also called as ex officio members. Ex officio members. So they are going to be the ones, sorry for the voice, So there are ex officio members are there, who are the chairpersons of all the gram panchayats, okay, which are included in a gram sabha. So all the different gram panchayats which are included in a gram sabha, all the chairpersons are called as ex officio members. All the chairpersons of the gram panchayat which are included in a panchayat samiti. Okay, so the panchayat samiti area. Okay, so this is all about panchayat samiti. Now let me move on to the next part, that is known as Zilla Parishad, which is going to be the last one for the video, for not for the video but for the topic itself. Okay. Okay, so now let us move on to the last one, that is Zilla Parishad. So when I'm talking about the Zilla Parishad, so basically the composition is kind of similar to the Panchayat Samiti only. So the composition is similar to Panchayat Samiti, and all the members of Zilla Parishad as well as Panchayati Samiti are elected indirectly, okay, by the members amongst themselves. Okay, so there are indirect elections. Okay, so you have to mention this thing. Now there is a pattern of reporting, like of course, yeah, one more thing, Zilla Parishad, it is operating at a district level, so you can of course say that it is a higher body than the Panchayat Samiti. Okay, now if I'll tell you like this, okay, so Gram Panchayat is reporting to whom? It is reporting to Panchayat Samiti, and the Panchayat Samiti is reporting to whom? It is reporting to Zilla Parishad. So this is how the hierarchy is. Then Zilla Parishad is going to report to state, okay, about the working. At the same time, there is opposite trend also that is going on. So like the state is going to supervise, so this is the arrow for supervision. Okay, so the state is going to supervise whom? Zilla Parishad. Zilla Parishad is going to supervise whom? Panchayat Samiti, and Panchayat Samiti is going to supervise Gram Panchayat. So this is how the pattern is going, the pattern of reporting and the pattern of supervision. Okay, now what is the function of Zilla Parishad? Zilla Parishad is basically dealing with the assessment of resources and the utilization of resources properly, the the ongoing project and program and schemes, how they are implemented, supervision of that also, and then creating report and providing that report to the state government. So this is how it works, how the whole thing of this is working. Okay, so one more thing I wanted to discuss, that there is a provision that at least, let me remove this ink from here. So there is a provision that at the Gram Panchayat and or the Gram Sabha should be meeting, like the chairman has to conduct at least two meetings, needs to be conducted. And when, okay, when two meetings, at least two meetings of Gram Sabha every year. Okay, so every year at least two meetings needs to be conducted. Okay, otherwise the post of the chairperson should be declared invalid. So this is a kind of something that needs to be followed. Okay, so okay, so there are certain things, you can say the things as challenges. Okay, so what are the challenges which are faced by these institutions? That is also very important when we are talking about it from an analytical glass. So first thing you need to know is of course the society, how the society is looking towards it. Okay, that is important. Okay, how the people participating in it. Then politics, of course, the politics is something that is there in everything, and politicization of these lower level bodies usually lead to challenges. Okay, then there are certain, you can say, administrative problems where the administration is not working for the people, they are not performing the duties well. Okay, and also a big issue is of finance. Okay, so as you know that the money is flowing from states to this panchayati raj institutions, and sometimes these money are not flowing properly. Okay, so the implementation that needs funds are not there. So the due to the lack of fund, due to the lack of finances, there are many of the policies that are not properly implemented. So these are the dimensions that you could think of relating to challenges. Okay, you could also include a point relating to the infrastructure facilities, because that is also something that is not very good. Okay, so you can say that so, that could also be included, and you can also think about other points. Okay, these are the major points I talked about, and you can of course elaborate upon that. So I hope that this much is clear to you all. I have discussed everything about the local governmental bodies. I hope you all understood it well. So I'm going to end the video here, because we have discussed about all the PRI bodies. In the village level we have discussed. So once again, before leaving guys, just if you haven't subscribed yet, just go and subscribe to this channel. Okay, this is completely free for all of you. Just go and give that subscribe button so that it gives us motivation, and like and share with your friends. So thank you so much guys, have a very nice day, and I'm going to be coming up with the next video very soon. Bye bye, take care.